Playbook for Performance, the official podcast of Shauna Corden, the Joan of Arc for corporate healing and performance. Join the quest to make work fun again by preparing leadership for engaging workplaces. And now, your host.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Playbook for Performance podcast. I'm your host, Shauna Corden, and we are on week 19 of our 20-week challenge, where we are building our resilience so that we bend instead of break when we face adversity. And definitely, this is a super important situation for our organizations and our leaders, because for a successful change effort to occur, it relies on this three-legged tripod. The first is strong leadership. Where are we going? Why are we doing it? What's there? The second piece is communication. What decisions have been made? What's the timeline? What are the updates? What are we correcting that didn't go so well, etc., in a very timely and thorough fashion and at the right level for the people who need to hear it. And then finally, employee resilience. Have they just been bombarded with so much stuff that they are battle fatigued and they don't have the energy to move forward? And this 20-week challenge is all about building that resilience for that third leg to make sure that they are battle ready when it comes to addressing the changes that are happening in your organization, and that they will, have the fortitude to follow through and make sure that the change effort happens as you've designed it. It's also just a great way to build employee engagement, because when people feel like their managers care about them as a person, not just a widget producing employee, they give more, they care more, and they're a lot less likely to be quiet quitters in the organization. So this is part of a 20-week challenge. If you're just starting today, that's fine. You can do them in any order, but do know that these can be tailored for your organization to support your change efforts and your leadership. So let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about perfecting your present. So what does that mean? That sounds like it's such a strange thing. Well, the present is the current moment. So living in the now. And depending on what you did yesterday, you have today's situation as it is because of the preparation or the activities that you did. I weigh what I weigh today because of things I ate yesterday and the days before, and the amount of working out that I did and how fit I am, etc. We can only do something about the moment, right? We can only act in the moment. So if we're living in yesterday and we're thinking about regret and things like that, not productive. We can't do anything about it except maybe do a lessons learned or post-mortem analysis. And we can't do anything about tomorrow because we're not there yet. So what we really want to do is recognize today is what it is because of what's come before. Tomorrow will be what it is based on what we do today. And so we really want to think about how we can enjoy and be present in the moment and what's happening right now. So let's get started. Now, if you're just joining us or if you're listening through your podcast app, do know that these videos are out on YouTube and they're presented with some slides. So you've got some bullets that you can follow along with if you like that. And we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel. So, invitation. Okay, so when do I suggest this lesson? When I feel like my clients are overly focused on the past, or they are so absorbed in achieving the future, they're not enjoying the present moment, or they're not present with their meetings, their family, their friends, etc. They're not there. Or if I hear this, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I earn my first 100K. I'll be happy when my bank balance is 500K. I'll be happy when I've upped my contribution to my 401k to this. I'll be happy when I have 10 employees. You name it. I'll be happy when I weigh 120 pounds. Those things are really robbing you of the joy in the present. And so can we adopt an attitude of, I'm on my way here. I'm taking the steps to be this, but I'm going to be happy right now. That's what we're really aiming for. We can only control the present. So we want to take steps right now to make it more enjoyable. So consider, what made today what it is? Is it a preparation or a lack of? So I know a lot of people have this ambition. It's still early, right? We're in March, and people's New Year's resolutions for fitness and healthful eating and things like that. If you're one of those people, you might still be on the plan, but a lot of people aren't. And if we go back to James Clear, and I know I quote James Clear a lot, but Atomic Habits is a great book, and if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. But the key to lasting change and forming really good habits is this idea of your identity. Are you an exerciser? Are you a runner? Are you a yogini? Whatever it is. That is one of the first steps. But in order to believe it, you got to start taking the actions that suggest that. And so if you want to be a morning workouter, that's me, that's why I'm dressed this way, then you probably need to have everything lined up. So I'm blessed enough that we have a home gym that has a fair amount of equipment in it. And so in the morning when I get up, I basically take out my retainer, step on the scale, put on my workout clothes, and all my workout clothes are in this one little bin in my closet. I grab my scrunchie, I walk downstairs after I've made my shot of espresso and filled my gallon, Andy Frisella, I'm shouting at you, my gallon of water. And so, and I work out immediately. I listen to my Bible in a Year podcast as I do my initial stretching. I'm doing this new thing that's called kettlebell golf. And so one of my big goals this year is to really improve my golf game and take it seriously rather than just go out and hack. And so I'm doing this fitness program that's very specific to preparing for balance and range of motion and things like that for golf. I'm also doing the science of stretching with body yoga, Lucas Rockwood. Shout out to him. And then when I'm done listening to those podcasts, I often listen to Andy Frisella, who is the author of the 75 Hard program, which I completed back in February. And so because I've got this routine that I'm running, and because I'm well prepared, my workout room is stocked. I've got my courage corner with my kettlebells. I've got my gloves for making sure that my kettlebells aren't chafing my hands. And I've got wrist guards for when I'm doing my cleans and lifts, etc. And so I have no excuses. Okay? A couple times a week, I am doing a functional body workout from a guy that's out in Italy who's just the most joyful guy ever, Ali Pisano. And so I've got my workout bench ready to go to do those functional workouts. And so I am fully prepared to do that. Now, are there times that things don't happen? Yes, because I haven't created the routine to do so. And so that's what I mean by lack of preparation. If you ate poorly, it's probably because you didn't have the ingredients on hand to prepare that nutritious meal that you were aiming for or aspired to. And part of it is your attitude. Are you thinking, I'm a fit person, this is what I do, I'm really excited about it? Or are you dragging yourself going, oh, I have to? Okay? Because the person who's saying, oh, I have to, they have not taken on that identity of, I'm the fit person, or I am the person who gets crap done, or I'm the person who's in command of their field, or I'm a champion of these ideas, etc. So the identity and attitude are very important. Sometimes people, my clients in particular, tell me something happened that was unexpected. And I'm like, really? Really? Kind of like the Gronk commercial. I'm special. That whole idea of it being unprepared, most cases, these were yellow flags that were ignored because they didn't fit the formula or the image or the story that they'd been telling themselves. And so most of the time, I think if we go back and we really create awareness and we remove our biases, we will find that that unexpected thing was actually expected. We just didn't want to admit it to ourselves. Is it bad luck, or, as I quoted in our last podcast, chance favoring the prepared man? When we say we have bad luck, is it because we have created a pattern that leaves us susceptible? Or is it our attitude, what some people go, oh, that's kind of a nuisance, whatever, move on? Or is it, I'm prepared, I am ready to go? That's something that's really important. And so we want to look at that and say, have I prepared myself to take advantage of the opportunity when it comes? When I get the phone call that says, hey, we want to feature you tomorrow morning on our news segment in the morning, you know, are you ready to go? Pretty exciting. So, and by the way, speaking of things, I am excited to share, I'm going to be presenting at SHRM. So all of you HR partners that are out there, if you are going to be in Las Vegas in June, I will be there. If you're going to be at the ICF conference Converge in August, I'm going to be presenting there. I'm going to be talking at both locations about my new book, Meet Me in the Middle, about overcoming polarization. So I hope to see you there. So back to the program. How quickly can I dance in the moment and embrace what is? So let's say that you've planned date night. You're super excited to have some connection and you have some expectations that maybe you have not communicated. Like no phone, no talking about kids, no talking about work. Okay, those are just some examples. You get to choose. And you show up at the restaurant and they're closed because they have a broken pipe. Okay, how quickly can you just say, that's okay. You know, the important part is that I'm here with you. I'm connecting, you know, this is our magical time together. How should we pivot? Okay. Or, you know, maybe the restaurant's noisier than you wanted or something like that. How much can you choose the healthy attitude that we talked about 3 or 4 lessons ago, right? Choosing that healthy attitude, podcast 78. You know, what is it that you can do to adjust so you can just embrace what is? I am a huge fan of Byron Katie's work. I think The Work is the name of the book, is something I would highly recommend. She says her religion is whatever the truth is. And that is that, you know, if she believes her kids should pick up their socks and they don't, then she's in denial. Okay. And so, you know, how can we make sure that we are embracing what really is and accepting that truth of it and then enjoying that peace in what it is. And how much fun is in being, how much versus doing, but just enjoying the moment without having to do anything. And that is something I have worked very, very hard to overcome over the years. I was addicted to achievement. I was always one of those high achiever kids, skipped, you know, multiple years in school, started college 15, 16 years old, you know, multiple degrees, just really getting out there to say, oh, I've got to do this thing, etc. And so I would achieve something and we're going to talk about this more next week. And I'd be like, oh, is that all there is? I thought there was going to be more to this. I thought I'd be like suddenly happy and like there would be sunshine and unicorns. And but if we haven't taken the time to enjoy the process and all the steps that go along with it and enjoying like what we have achieved so far, we probably are not having a whole lot of fun in the being part. So I invite you to think on that. So do consider the benefits. If we construct our present well, the future will take care of itself. So if we've got these habits and routines and identity that say, I'm a healthy eater, I'm a fit person, I take time to be in my faith and, worship, prayer, meditation, whatever it might be, tomorrow is going to take care of itself. So when we have these big, lofty vision goals, our vision board, what are the steps that we are taking, those little incremental things where it will naturally resolve itself, whether it's paying ourselves first in terms of, savings to build that cash flow so that we can afford that future mortgage or pay it off with cash immediately. There are a lot of really good results that come from those routines that happen in the day-to-day, in the present. We also want to have pleasure in the moment versus that someday. The Gap and the Gain is a great book that talks about this kind of comparing ourselves to where we started from rather than that future state and always being in that dissatisfaction. One of the things that we really do in coaching, probably the greatest gift that is the pivot for, or a leverage point for really creating a fantastic life, is creating awareness, because we cannot take action or make decisions without awareness. And so if our awareness is, if I continue on this path, I will be overweight, develop diabetes, whatever, that's awareness, and then we can take action on it. If we recognize that, hey, the algorithms are always changing in social media. If I don't create my own email list, I'm not going to have anything to market to. If I don't create programs of what the people want, or if I don't nurture my employee base, I am going to lose them, or lose 79% of them, as the Gallup average says, to quiet quitting, right? So what is it that we need to do? What are the actions to be in the present, to be in the moment, and have the future take care of itself? We have to start with creating awareness. So homework, because we always have homework, take steps. What happened today because of yesterday? So if you think about your situation, I unfortunately missed a meeting this morning. I was heads down on this project, and I got a text message 50 minutes into the meeting like, hey, are you joining us? That happened because I didn't look at my calendar right before I went to bed to say, hey, you have this unusually early meeting today. Make note. What is happening today that I think I don't like, and what is great about it? So, as much as I hated missing my meeting with my colleagues, who I truly appreciate, what's great about it? Well, the great thing is I was totally in the flow. Things were moving. I was really excited about the project that I was on. And it was probably a better quality project because I was focused on it and I was in flow versus like, hey, let me squeeze this in before I have this meeting. Okay. And how can I make tomorrow great? What are the things that you could do? So I think we're really good about this when it comes to celebrations like recognized holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, etc. We recognize we have to prepare. We clean the house, we shop for the groceries, we prep the meals, we set the table, all of that. And we're very intentional about that because we're trying to create an experience. But what if you use that exact same approach to the holidays or celebrations for your day-to-day life? That you got the perfect jug to keep your water in, that you had a corner of your home that's dedicated to your fitness experience, even if it was just a yoga mat and a strap and a block. That's that little kind of altar to your fitness area, whatever that might be. So think about the things that you would do to make tomorrow great, whether it's connecting with people, whether it's self-care, whether it's preparing for a project, even just taking 1 minute to think, what are the things that I want to get out of this meeting that I'm about to go into? Those are things that create a lot more intention and much better outcomes. So, don't forget, you can cater this course for your group, your work team, etc. We would love to support you and build a resilient workforce for you, one that's really engaged so you don't have a bunch of quiet quitters. Please invite your friends and colleagues to this. There is a theme sheet for this 20-week lesson or challenge out on our site. And if you're watching on YouTube, we're thrilled you're here. Please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel. We would love to carry you around. You can put comments below, and we will address those comments and get back to you for sure, or address them in a future podcast. We would love to have that. If you're on Apple, please follow. Please double check that you're followed, and subscribe. Tell your friends. And if you'd like to reach out to us, you can reach out at podcast@shawnacorden.com. Until next week, week 20, take good care.
Thank you for listening to Playbook for Performance. To learn more about Shauna Corden, her consulting programs and tools, please visit her website at shawnacorden.com and follow us on social media at Shauna Corden.